gentlemen, we don't let danger into our pants. For this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
Danger's my middle name. And my pants.
Cue the music.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute. Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
I'm Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I'm a Michael.
And you are now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it through the mediums of hydration and dehydration, because I wouldn't drink this to hydrate myself.
No, that's your wakey juice, isn't it?
Wakey,
Yes.
wakey.
Yes, my wakey juices. Mocha. Milo mocha.
Milo mocha. That's nice.
Melamuka.
That's fine. I've just got straight up coffee. Just instant caffeine for me.
Yes.
I got
Well-
carbonated coffee.
Welcome to the energizing start of the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
We
getting
need
pumped
it.
up now. Yes,
It's
We're
Sunday
here.
night.
it's Sunday night.
Time to
It's
go
Sunday.
off.
Yes,
Because
Time to
ready
go
for
off.
Monday.
with all the news we don't have.
Yeah.
This is gonna be an interesting podcast, but
Mm-hmm.
we will persevere nonetheless,
Yes.
as we do each and every week. Let's start things off with our weekly watchings. Fulia,
Yes.
what have you been watching?
Okay, so before starting today's podcast, I watched a couple of episodes of One Piece because I thought, I've got some time to kill, so let me watch a couple more episodes. I'm around about the 178 episode, I think.
Still 104.
Okay.
It's so bad.
No, it's fine. Continuing on with my anime watching though, this past week I completed the first season of Kuroko's Basketball. I literally binged through that, and there's 26 episodes in that anime. I really enjoy watching this, and I'm gonna keep watching it because it's only a short series. So I think there's only 3 seasons of 26 episodes, so not much. It's like less than 100 episodes, so it's actually not bad. There's like 72 or something like that. Maybe no, 78, I think, if my math's correct. But yeah, it's a really good anime. I would definitely recommend if you're. I don't know what it is about me and sports anime. I really enjoy the sports anime.
You like the sports.
I like sports.
I think you said that last week too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
it's so perplexing.
I'm
We're
so
trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, I mean, I do like to play sports, and sometimes I like watching sports, but for whatever reason, anime sports is so much more entertaining.
Nice.
Because one, you don't
I'm
have
really-
to do it, and also it's stylized, so
Yeah, exactly, and heightened.
heightened.
So much drama in a match. One match goes for like 2 episodes,
Outstanding.
and they're all high schoolers too. And I'm just like, why am I so entertained by high school basketball in anime form? I don't understand.
It's kind of like cricket. That goes on for a week.
Oh, no cricket for me, please.
No
thank you.
cricket.
Even
Come on, it's
If-
Australia's
No.
pastime, cricket.
Even if it is, even if there is an anime for cricket, I probably wouldn't watch it. Actually, you know what? Maybe I would.
I
'cause
think
it'd be
you
more.
would.
It would be more entertaining in an anime.
Yes.
You can just imagine like JoJo. It's like,
Just yelling. But yeah, that's what I watched. The final thing that I will mention that I watched was actually still animated, but not anime. It is the Lego Pixar Bricktoons.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched through that. There was like 5 episodes, and there were 9 minutes each. So it was like literally sitting down for a short film. But you get to watch small snippet scenes from, I think it was like The Incredibles, Finding Nemo. I think there was one for, what was the other? What were the other couple? The other 3?
Wasn't there a Brave one?
Yeah, Brave. Oh, Coco as well.
Coco.
And there was one more, and I've already. Cars. So they're the 5. Yeah. And yeah, it was cute, fun. Mostly, it kind of felt like we were getting a scene or two from the movies into this, but I think it's more of like a bonus, sort of an extra mini story from those particular movies, and they're Pixar movies, so it makes sense. But they've been Lego-fied, and it's actually really cool the way they look in Lego.
Lego built.
Yeah, the Brave one, the Brave episode, they used Lego Friends to make it look a little bit more different.
The girls' Lego.
They're the girls' Lego.
Oh yeah, come on.
God,
No.
you can't just say the demographic is not
No.
for girls.
The little the figurines you get with the Lego Friends, their figures aren't the traditional minifigs. They're actually a little bit more different in terms of its style.
Right.
Which is probably why they decided to go with Brave for that one. But the rest of them were all just like regular Lego, which was really cool. But yeah, no, that's pretty much all I've been watching. Like, I haven't really been watching a lot I've been watching in terms of quantity, but only like 2 or 3 things. So, yeah, I've sort of been binging through them.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful. All right, Mike, what about you? What have you been watching?
Yes, what I've been watching. Well, I'll go a little bit over the place. So during the week, I finished off Chaos, the the adaptation of Greek mythology stories about the last hurrah of Olympia, and goes to absolute chaos at the end. But hopefully there'll be a second season, and we'll see more chaos. And yeah, I would recommend it. It was quite a unique take for it, of modernizing it and still being being the same whimsical and more heightened for it being Greek mythology with Zeus and all them. And yeah, Zeus does become a bit sinister. So I wanted to watch The Fly after, because it reminded me a lot of his acting in The Fly, Jeff Goldblum. And yeah, I would recommend The Fly as well, because that's a bit of fun. I think you'd like that one, Fulya.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum as a fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's where
I don't like your tone.
I go buzz. I go buzz a lot.
Yeah, they go buzz a lot. Lots of buzzing, lots of flying.
It's
not
chaos theory.
chaos theory. Yes, exactly. Yes, life finds a way.
Life finds a way. It's kind of like female orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But I'll talk about that later, because that will connect. into what you've
Yes,
been watching. But
segue.
yeah, so I've watched that. I still need to finish Terminator Zero. Halfway through, and it's getting good. The bombs have dropped. So what's going to happen after that? And Malcolm, the lead scientist guy, has pushed a button, and his AI has set forth into online. So it's kind of interesting. It's like what America's doing. They reference what America's doing of Skynet doing the thing, but this is a different one. Kokoro, his AI, is like, what's going to happen after that? So it's AI's fight to the death, maybe. I don't know. It's going to be cool, and I can't wait to finish that because it's really good, and a lot of people are saying, yes, this is pretty cool. Not sure if people are asking for a second season or just it'll be a one and done, and I don't mind it being a one and done because it's something really cool. But last week I said I wanted to watch Hook, and I introduced my kids to Hook. And they haven't really experienced the Peter Pan story, so I decided, you know what, kids need to watch Peter Pan as it is. So went on Disney Plus and put on Peter Pan, and yeah, it had the disclaimer of some of the predictions of Native American people are harmful stereotypes, and I knew that was coming, but there's a lot in this that I do like. The blatant misogyny that Peter has towards Wendy, and that whole dynamic of everyone, every adolescent girl is lusting after Peter Pan.
Yeah.
It's like, damn it. I forgot. I mean, I don't know. Never again. Anyway, and also just the racist remarks towards the native population, as like calling them savages, and John just being absolute worst. I mean, intellectual without it being like, what about like, yeah, it just rubbed me the wrong way. It's like, I'm glad you kids aren't really paying attention to this. I mean, they were having special tea as well. So, and that was yesterday because my wife was in Graceland.
Yeah.
On an adventure.
Yeah, with me.
To graze her face.
To graze our faces, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And also what we watched and what we're going to talk about, as well as, yeah, the latest episode of Rings of Power, which finally introduced in live action form the man. Is he a man? The myth, the legend, God, basically.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil. And he was so much fun. And
yeah,
I want more, but it is to be seen. And I still think the stranger is Saruman the White, but it's Saruman the Brown. He's
yeah.
Even though they do name drop Gandalf in this.
Yeah, the biggest eye roll of my life. Grandalf.
Grandalf is like, shut up. You
like,
can't
okay,
get me.
It's basically confirmed at this point.
It's I will resist. No.
Please do. I don't want it. I've accepted it, but whatever happens.
Unless they do the thing, because they say that he actually turns up in the third age, and this is the second. Yeah,
correct.
The second age. I think they're going to do a thing. No, he got his name in the third age, but he does turn up in the second.
Where is he a young Gandalf?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, maybe.
yeah. Of what?
Basic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, just for Fulia, basically, Gandalf was sent to Middle Earth in the Third Age as a means to fight Sauron. Yeah, and obviously Sauron's doing some bad things in the Second Age now, and the show has compressed the timeline of the entire history of Middle Earth. And so a lot of people have been theorizing that this stranger character, who is very much he is a wizard. They've said he's a wizard. They haven't said which wizard he is. But they're very much saying that he's Gandalf. And also there was a scene in this episode where Tom Bombadil actually says to the stranger, like, "You are here to face Sauron and this other dark wizard that's kicking about." So they're basically saying he's Gandalf without saying he's Gandalf.
If it's a prophecy, and
Yeah.
this dark wizard from the desert, if he gets defeated, then maybe the prophecy is one row ahead, and then Gandalf falls from the sky again, and he has to combat this wizard, the stranger.
Yeah.
Because balance in the Force.
Yeah, definitely. They could definitely change some things around.
Yeah.
I definitely would rather the stranger be Saruman, than anything else, or unless he's a blue wizard. Only because I don't think the dark wizard can be Saruman now, because his whole story is the fact that he starts off as he's a good noble wizard initially, and it's not until he starts researching about the rings and the One Ring that he goes evil, and gets corrupted by Sauron. So yeah, but anyway, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Intentionally good. He doesn't know. He doesn't know who he is.
The stranger still.
He doesn't
still
know. He doesn't know his
remember who
path.
he
He just heard it from Tom Bombadil. It was like, I need to face Sauron and this dark wizard. Maybe he faces this dark wizard. I was like, okay, I'm cool now. And then second age happens, and Sauron gets defeated, and it's like, I could do whatever I want now. What's this ball thing? Ooh, I'm bad now.
I mean, maybe, I don't know. It'd be interesting.
And then people go, no, we like him so much. No, he's evil now.
He's evil.
But I knew from the start he was evil.
I mean, yeah, it's totally possible he could be Saruman, but yeah, that would be so tragic. It'd be like someone as sweet and wholesome as the stranger, and he turns out to be the darkest of all.
Yeah,
the
corrupted
wizards.
by his hubris, maybe. Because
maybe
people are instilling him to say, "Oh, you're the perfect wizard. You need to defeat this," and then I defeated. I'm so great now, and yeah. Man.
I know, and plus he's got a lot of people telling him what he should be doing and not be doing. That keeps happening, so it's like, okay, he's trying to figure his path out, I guess, but we'll see which way it goes.
We can only hope for for hopelessness.
Something good.
Yeah.
Something good. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it's not the tragedy that gets you; it's the hope.
Yeah. Yeah, very much.
What about you, Kendall?
What about me? Well, yes, of course. Rings of Power. It's I'm in my zone. It's just it's wonderful. It's what a time to be alive. I've seen episode 4 twice. Of course. Yeah, I'm watching all of these at least more than once a week. I can't help myself. Even though this week was so funny, because like I'm sitting there watching it, and I had one of my friends. One of my friends was, because I did the late shift on Thursday night, so I couldn't watch it as soon as it dropped. And so one of my friends was messaging me spoiler-free reactions while I was at work, and that was interesting.
Lost soy jacks.
What?
A lot of soy jacks. Oh, never mind.
Okay. Sorry.
You're the older generation. You don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm a Zoomer.
Oh, that was a Zoomer reference. Lovely, lovely. Anyway, yeah, so when I got home and I was watching it, I was messaging him my reactions to everything, and we were discussing it and stuff, and I kind of came to the realization immediately in the previously on at the beginning that there wasn't going to be any Anatar and Celebrimbor this week. I wasn't going to get to see my boy, and I was like, okay, I'll just deal with that. It's fine. He wasn't in every episode in season 1, so it's fine. And and I said that to my friend. I'm like, I'm not gonna get Sauron this week, and he's like, no, there's no Sauron. I was like, okay, that's yeah, is what it is. And then Galadriel does this thing where she's like, you know, touching her ring and telling Elrond about, you know, bad things that are going to happen, and then the camera cuts and we get all these brief little flashes of things that are you know, things that were, things that are, things that may not yet come to pass, you know, that shit, for her foresight. And and I just went from 0 to 100 because we got like 2 seconds, maybe 2 seconds of a shot of Sauron as Halbrand in his armor from season 1. His hair's billowing in the wind, and it looks like he's looking down at Galadriel. And
maybe it's Maybelline.
yeah, those jokes were made. Don't you worry. Thank God. Yeah, he's worth it. Yeah. Anyway, it was a great shot. It's 2 seconds, right? And I fucking kid you not that was all we were talking about in the Discord. was was this 2 second shot of Halbrand of Sauron in this episode. 2 seconds, and I can show you a whole thread of just us losing our fucking minds. It was the best. Like, I literally just gone from, oh, I'm not going to get any Sauron this episode, and then I got 2 seconds, and that's all we gave a shit about. It was so funny. Anyway,
2
so I
seconds,
was
right?
happy in that sense.
Okay.
All I need is 2 seconds. Mm. It was glorious. Yes, that was my favorite part of the episode. Although, you know, the rest of the stuff in the vision was not so nice. Yeah, things are not looking good for a bunch of people. Yeah, but anyway, on the whole, the episode was very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Tom Bombadil, yes, was he was everything I was expecting and hoping for. So I was really glad to not be disappointed with how they portrayed him. I think Rory Kinnear did a really good job. I was really apprehensive about his inclusion just because he's such a aloof character in the books. Like, and because we don't know what he is, like how are they going to use him? Is he going to like ruin? Is his lighter tone going to ruin this darker season of the show? And actually, it fit pretty perfectly. And he's singing a little bit, you know, there, and he's talking about different things and quoting things from the book, and just, yeah, it was great. It was awesome. I really liked Tom Bombadil. We're going to get to see a little bit more of him, I think, before the season's done. So, yeah, I liked him a lot. The other part of the episode I really enjoyed was the Ents. Getting to see the Ents in this show was great. They were wonderful, voiced by Jim Broadbent and Olivia Williams. We got to see an Ent wife for the first time. And she was pissed as fuck. She was very angry, understandably, of course. But I really loved that moment between her and Arondir, and, you know, how they kind of, you know, he talked to her about, you know, making promises of protecting the forest and the trees, and she was, you know, telling him about how they've been around since before the mountains divided the land and all this stuff, and it was just really beautiful. So
before the rain fell and the acorn.
Yeah, that was one thing that Tom Bombadil said. Like, yeah, because like the episode was called Eldest. Eldest.
Who's the eldest?
Yeah, so they really leaned into these ancient beings that exist within Middle Earth, and that was really, really cool. And then the other cool thing was seeing the Barrow Whites on the screen as well. Fulya, you would not have liked it. It was very much story. Like these, like you probably maybe you probably wouldn't remember from the trailers, but they were in the trailers, and these like floating skeletons and these kingly robes and crowns and things, and because they're supposed to be the the ghosts of dead kings essentially. And yeah, there was a really cool fight scene with all the elves and Galadriel and Elrond being badass. Elrond as the commander was just great, even though him and Galadriel were like fighting the entire episode. Because he's like, we're not going to take any counsel from that trinket. Like, yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he'll come around, and now he's got the ring.
Foreshadowing.
So... yeah, foreshadowing. Literally, they're just like they're really setting up the whole cast it into the fire, Isildur, for him, which is fun. Yeah, and then Galadriel gets a really badass fight scene at the end of the episode, and then gets captured by Adar, who speaks to her in Quenya, which is really, really cool. Everyone lost their shit over that as well. Speaking in Elvish, in her native tongue, that she speaks. So that was cool. Yeah. For next week.
Yeah.
Get back and see what my boy's doing in the forge, making all the rings. It's gonna be a good time for not many people. Good time for me. That's about it. Yeah, Rings of Power, fantastic. A lot of fun. What else did I watch this week? Well, speaking of Amazon Prime, I ended up watching, should I say rewatching, My Lady Jane, which I talked about a couple of weeks ago. It got cancelled, which I'm very sad and very angry about, which is, yeah, not cool. They basically kind of said it was, I guess it was a ratings thing. Not enough people watched it, but then they also dropped all 8 episodes on the same day, so it didn't really have a chance to find its audience before they cancelled it. So so I'm currently in like this love-hate relationship with Amazon Prime at the moment, which is a bit funny. But anyway, I rewatched the show because I was like, no, I really love this. I love this show, and I want to, keep it alive and whatnot. And it was a really good rewatch. So that was a lot of fun. And then the last thing I'll mention that I watched was Beetlejuice. The original Beetlejuice.
Hey.
Yes, because I do have plans now to go watch Beetlejuice at the cinema. So I'm sure Mike and I will talk about that at some point.
Yes. In a Quickie Review.
In a Quickie Review, yeah, why not? But yeah, watched the first movie for the first time in a long time, and yeah, I barely remembered a lot of it. I can't remember the last time I watched it, but yeah, it's fun, it's crazy, it's weird, it's silly, it's so Tim Burton, and it's just it's just wacky as all hell. I really like just the use of practical effects in that film and the makeup stuff that they do with everything. The way they like one of my favorite sets I think on that first film is when they go into the office building of the afterlife or whatever, and they're in the the workspace or the waiting room, and there's like all these different people who have died in various ways. They've been squished, or they've hung themselves, or they're like
got ran over,
or they got run over, or
get bitten by a shark.
Yeah, bitten by a shark. There was another one that was really good, and now I've lost it trying to think of it. But anyway, that's shit I really like a lot.
Guy choking on a chicken bone.
Yes, and it's stuck really prominently in his throat. Yeah, so much fun. I like that a lot. Catherine O'Hara is just having the time of her fucking life in that movie. So I'm really now kind of even more excited to see her in the sequel. So that's a good time.
She's really good.
She's so good. Oh, in the sequel?
Yeah, I have seen it.
Okay.
I
know. Yeah. We'll save it. Save it for a Quickie Review. Yes. Yeah. And then the whole, the iconic, dinner scene. When they get made to sing the song. I really just like the way it ends with the hands, like the shrimp becoming hands, and like just that's spooky and fun. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the sequel. I'm looking forward to it.
I recommend it
All
to
right.
Fulya.
I do kind of want to watch it. Like, I know that people have enjoyed it and it's fun and it's, you know, comedic.
Yeah, it's quirky horror.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Tame horror.
Very tame. It's definitely a Fulya
Yeah.
level kind of
Safe.
horror.
Yeah, safe.
Yeah. It's not. You're not gonna like. Yeah, you're not gonna regret watching it. I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
No, I do
Um,
kind of want to check it out because it just looks like, you know, especially Michael Keaton, you know, doing Beetlejuice, and yeah,
It's great.
I kind of want to see it, especially considering that watching the Beetlejuice trailer.
Yes.
It just looks like they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. I'm more excited to see the sequel now that I've rewatched the first.
And I'm
film.
pretty sure there was a special Hot Ones episode with the Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well,
What?
They licensed out the moniker. They didn't have. It wasn't a full on Hot Ones episode.
It was a short episode.
It was a
Okay.
short episode with Beetlejuice and who is being interviewed by Michael Keaton.
Oh, bless. That's fun. That's fun. I
Not to be rude, but who are you?
That's very cool. I'll have to check that out for sure. Nice. Well, that's my watchings. That's the weekly watchings, and it seems we have some breaking nerdy news potentially,
We do.
if I'm reading the notes correctly.
Breaking news, but it happened this past week, and I just remembered.
Hey, well, it's surprise news. How about
Surprise
that?
news.
Surprise news. All right, Mike. Let's cue up the nerdy news.
Oh, I'm
shall we?
gonna have to go back and find this. Okay, here we go. Oh no, it's a bit loud. Oh no. There we go.
This is the news in Nerdy News. The nerds that talk about the nerdy news. That is us who talk about the news that is nerdy. And now the queen of nerds, just with mostest, Kendall Richardson.
Fulya.
Take it away, Kendall.
Fulya.
Yes.
Yes. No, I will be taking a back seat for this item, and I'm very very pleased to temporarily hand my hostess with the mostest pin through the computer screen to Fulya, who will receive it happily.
Thank you.
I'm sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, put it in the Dropbox.
Put it in the
Yeah,
Dropbox.
put it in the
There we
Dropbox.
go. Yeah, easy, done.
Okay. So, gaming news. And I'm pretty sure most gamers would have already heard about this. But with its not very long release, Concord has now gone offline.
What a shit show.
Oh
Rip
man.
Concord.
R.I.P. Pour one out,
Oh
ladies and
my
gents.
goodness. So Sony issued a statement earlier in the week saying that although they have heard the feedback of all of their all of the players that have played the game, they've decided that because it wasn't meeting their requirements and whatnots and the numbers that they were hoping for, which never made it that far, they've decided to pull the plug on Concord as of the 6th of September, which was just Friday past. But hey, you know what comes with sad news? Some good news, because Astrobot has been killing it this weekend with everybody wanting to play this game, me included. I have the game. I bought the special edition controller. I am absolutely happy with it. I am loving this game so much that I really am doing a platinum run for it. I'm making sure I collect everything. Everybody is kind of doing the the comparison to Super Mario Odyssey. I'm not going to do that just because I'm going, like, I can see where they got their inspirations from. A lot of the stuff that is in this game, you can definitely see have come from different platformer games from Nintendo. But I love Astrobot so much. It is so good. It is very cute. The worlds are awesome. The music in every world is also really cool. And it's considering the fact that they're also paying homage and respect to a lot of the Sony IP in this game as well. So there's a lot of Sony characters, PlayStation characters from the past being brought into this game, and you see them, and then you get to find them within the levels, and it is so much fun. I think so far my favorite has been the Bot of War level. God of War. It is so good. I haven't finished the 2018 God of War yet, but I have gotten every single reference in that level.
Nice.
And I love it. I love it so much. The music in that level is also top tier. It is so good.
Wow.
Ah,
Great.
so good. The only thing is that level is technically, because the characters you find in there, apart from the usuals in 2018, a lot of them are actually from God of War Ragnarok. I haven't played that game.
Ooh.
So there are some characters I don't recognize, but I don't care. It's still good. It is still so much fun. And yeah, I'm loving Astrobot. People, go out and buy Astrobot.
In the God of War section, is there a character called Astro Boy?
What do you mean Astro? As in boy, Atreus boy?
Yeah. But it's
so
Astro Boy.
You don't actually go out to find Kratos or Atreus, because you already find them in another sort of a side level.
In another castle.
You find them first, and when you find them at the end of a boss battle, actually, yeah, it's a boss battle level. So once you finish the boss battle, you swim out to a boat, and then you flip the boat over, and it's Kratos and Atreus. And from there, it unlocks the Bot of War level.
Sorry, Kratos is in another castle.
You don't need to find them. You've already unlocked them. But the cool thing about it is that once you go into the Bot of War level, the Kratos bot gives you his axe, and you get to run around dressed as Kratos in this level with the axe. And the mechanics are pretty much similar to what it is in the game of God of War. You get to throw the axe, and then you have to call it back. Oh my gosh, I love that level so much. This is getting 9s and 10s from critics.
Right.
When it first released. At the moment, OpenCritic is sitting at a 95, I think, for Astrobot this year, which is the highest rated Sony PlayStation game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Game of the Year contendee for best. I'm gonna say probably best family game. I'm gonna say potentially, and even and maybe even Game of the Year category as well. So it's gonna be high up there, and I am very much looking forward to seeing how they go. But there's still a few months left. There's still a few months left before then. And there's still more games gonna be released between now and then, so we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
If only they had a like a gaming Razzies, and they could like they could shout out Concord. Or like if they have like an in memoriam segment for
the servers are no longer included.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is the thing with Concord. Going back to the Concord news, though, I do know people who were actually enjoying the game They were
Right.
really liking it. But from what they've said, it just seems like Sony got scared about keeping it out, and they were just like, let's just pull the plug now, even though it hasn't even been 2 weeks
Yeah,
since
they
its
really,
release.
they really
Yeah.
My Lady Janed that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day that they announced that, the morning of that announcement, I read it before I went to work, and I mentioned it in our meeting at work before we opened the store. And then later that day, we got that memo about if people come in asking for refunds, give it to
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
We didn't sell a single copy.
I don't think we did either,
Yeah. I
but
saw
we
that
pulled whatever
says
copies we
something.
had off the shelf.
Yes,
And now,
so did
yeah.
I.
So they're a collector's item.
Well,
Huh.
if anyone does have it, then sure. But people who bought it digitally will be issued a refund via
Oh, we'll
Sony,
be
but they
Yeah.
immediately. So,
Huge
which
loss.
means they won't be able to jump into the game at all. The servers are going offline. It's an
Yeah,
online multiplayer game. So
they're done.
Yeah.
Before we finish this bit up, I just found it really funny that I kept reading that people were trying to get a specific, like, a trophy, and they were
Platinum.
having to like yeah, well, they had to like jump off a cliff to get it.
Yeah. They
I'm
just
like,
they start campaigns and then this whole group of people just went vroom,
yeah, they
just
just,
right off a cliff.
yeah,
just
so
yeeting themselves. I'm like, that's very appropriate.
people who are known as trophy hunters they were trying to do their best. As soon as they found out the news, they were doing
Yeah.
their best to make
To
sure they
platinum.
the game
Yeah.
before it went offline. But not a lot of people would have gotten it, I don't think.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Yeah.
There are some people who are like, damn it, I'm like one trophy away from the platinum and I'm not going to be able to get it, and because of whatever reason. So
Yeah.
So I am sad for you, awesome gamers who were enjoying this game. I'm sorry this has gone away, but yeah. Hopefully Sony learns from this mistake.
Nah, they won't.
Yeah, no, I don't think
They
so.
never do.
No.
After that crap that they tried the pool with Helldivers 2. Nah.
Look, to be honest, Helldivers 2 still going. It's still holding on. It's still kind of holding on. There are people out there still playing it. I do know that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think it's as bad as what Concord was in terms of their player base. Because I think they only had like 25,000 concurrent players, which was nothing from release.
It was.
That's nothing for them. Around the world. Which is insane. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's sort of a bit of sad news, I suppose, in the gaming world.
Yeah.
With a bit of happy news as well. So,
Bot
yeah.
boy.
Bot boy.
Astro boy.
And that
Thanks.
brings us to the end of the nerdy news.
It does. Thank you, Fulya.
You're
That
welcome.
was a lovely little detour. I am glad you brought that up. That's excellent. Cool. Well, that means it's now time to roll on up to the trailer park.
Yes.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Hee-ha.
It's trailer park time. Speaking of gaming, our first trailer this week is a teaser for the long-awaited, much-anticipated film that is now called, or was always called, and I just never knew, a Minecraft movie. I don't have a lot to really say about this because I've never played the game. I've only sort of seen people play it maybe years ago, and I know how popular it is, obviously, because I work at an entertainment store. But Jack Black be playing himself. Let's just put him in a blue shirt and away we go. That's fine. Also, Jason Momoa has me asking questions. I'm here for a slightly effeminate version of him. That's going to be exciting to see. I don't know if any of the humans that aren't Steve are characters from the world or not, but sure. Yeah, that'll be fun. I love Danielle Brooks, so it was really cool to see her in this. She's fantastic. And Emma Myers from Wednesday as well. So that's fun. But yeah, visually looks really cool. Green screen movie. That's fine. We get a lot of them these days. But it looks fine. It looks. There's not really much for me to unpack because, like I said, I never played the game. But I'm keen to see more from this. More trailers, more footage, so I can get a grasp on what the actual F is happening. In this. But I can tell you one thing: my coworkers at work were not impressed with this trailer.
I am not surprised.
And it seems like the internet may have had some thoughts, but I haven't really looked into said thoughts. So I'm just going to go to Fulya for hers.
Okay.
What did you think of this little teaser?
I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried about this one.
Oh, please tell me why. Go on.
So I'm not a big Minecraft gamer, but I have played Minecraft sort of casually, and I do enjoy playing the game just sort of in my spare time and just building random stuff whenever I can in a realm. But in the case of this film, trying to go live action with something that's very blocky, I don't know. I just apart from the human characters, the rest of the characters that are in the game technically, they don't look great. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I'm not totally convinced about this whole film being a thing. I love Jack Black, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if he was the right choice to play Steve. I feel like they could have chosen someone else, to be fair. But maybe that was the whole point. That maybe they're going for a weird, quirky take on the film. I don't know. But I just feel like maybe Jack Black wasn't really the right person for the main character. And as for Jason Momoa, dude, those bangs are hideous. I'm sorry, it's doing nothing for him at all. Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's yeah, it doesn't suit him at all. I'm sorry, it doesn't look natural to me. We didn't really hear much from him. The only in this trailer at least, the only thing that we've got to really see was him building something at a crafting table, which didn't really it feels like it's still the game Minecraft in the way that it was formed, because all he did was place items on in certain places of the table, which is kind of how it works in the game. And then once you add the last piece, all of a sudden, poof, you've got the item. I don't know how that's gonna work in the movie. Like, the fact that they decided to just stick with the way it works in the game and put it live action. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm hearing a lot of people on the internet, especially in the communities that I'm in on Discord, say they really need to, give it the Sonic treatment.
Oh no! Oh no!
Nah.
Like the fact that it needs it needs a glow up in some way. But I don't know if even that's going to help, to be honest. Like, in Sonic's case, that makes sense. Like, there was a real problem with the character design. Whereas this is more so not the character, but the world. So I don't know how that's going to go. But I am very keen to find out what Michael thinks about this, because I know you're a big avid Minecraft gamer, more than me, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, it makes
What
me
are your
unwind.
What the game does, yes.
Yeah.
What do you think of the trailer for the movie?
Yeah, I'm sort of the same as everyone else. But
Yeah.
my criticism is probably the opposite. I liked the CGI elements. I liked the world where they tried to make it blocky and fun, and the piglings are cool looking. And I always enjoy a dopey llama.
Derpy llama.
Dopey llama. Bad llama. That's for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think my biggest criticism is having live action characters in this world, and having Steve being a human shape and not blocky.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to see if they do the Sonic treatment of actually making them ugly and blocky. Then it actually fits within the world. And it also depends on what sort of story they're sort of doing. Are they doing a Jumanji where they are falling into the game?
I hope that's not the case.
I don't like that. I don't like
it.
I don't like
But
it at all.
from what we can tell from the other characters that aren't Steve, they seem to be confused about being in this world.
Yeah.
So maybe it could be.
Corrections?
I have the brief. I have the brief synopsis / summary of the movie.
Right.
On IMDb, it says, and this makes no sense to me. The malevolent Ender Dragon sets out on a path of destruction, prompting a young girl and her group of unlikely adventurers to set out to save the overworld. That's the story.
I know about the Ender Dragon.
Yeah, that's final boss, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're part of this world?
No, it sounds like they're gone. Maybe have gone into it. I don't know. That's how I'm. Well, I think you're right. I think the Jumanji thing is probably correct, but like not in terms of them getting sucked into a video game. I feel like maybe this is like a Narnia situation when they go inside it somehow.
Because it's like a different realm sort of thing, and they're part of a different realm.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say Minecraft realms exist, so that might be a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From this world we go into a different blocky world. Narnia. Yeah. If that's the case, the zombies are going to be human. So we're going to have
that would make sense.
We're going to have human zombies.
Unless they make them digital blocky as well.
Nah.
But then it wouldn't make sense for
It wouldn't make
these
sense if
guys to
Steve
be
was if Steve was real.
human. Yeah.
Unless they make it like jokey. I mean, we're talking Plants vs Zombies sort of zombies.
Yeah.
Just green skin going.
Yeah.
A zombie from Beetlejuice. There you go. This is, like those Bobs. You know Bob. No one knows Bob yet. Favorite character? Bob.
Shrunken Heads?
Yeah, Shrunken Heads.
Yeah. I know Bob.
I know Bob.
I know Bob.
I know Bob.
Me and Bob go way back.
Yeah. 36 years. From the previous. Speaking of which, when is this coming out?
Yes. You can watch, if you so choose, a Minecraft movie in the cinemas on the 3rd of April next year. So we're still quite a ways away from the movie coming out. Okay,
so Jack Black put Tenacious D on hiatus for this. Okay. It's like, Kyle, I got some movies coming out soon. I can't have the PR.
This is not the greatest movie in the world. No, this is just a paycheck. let's move on.
Yeah.
Our
Very
next
well written, by the way.
I'm Jack Black. I do gaming. I do gaming movies.
I do gaming movies. I'm
I'm
be
like
the Chris Pratt of gaming
Yeah,
movies.
I'm the Chris Pratt of voices.
Great minds think alike. Okay, let's move on to our next trailer.
Yeah.
This is our, I think it's our first full story trailer, for the upcoming second and final season of Arcane. It's been a while since we've been in this world. I'm gonna definitely need to rewatch or finish my rewatch. I did start a rewatch of season 1 earlier this year, and I never finished it because I was watching it with one of my international friends over Discord. Need to get back to finishing that because I don't remember exactly how season 1 ends, although I remember it being amazing. But yeah, season 2, definitely some different vibes going on here, and just really cool to see stuff from this world again because I love the animation in this show. It's so cool, like this sort of 3D 2D clash of animation.
Hybrid.
Yeah, it's really, really awesome to look at, like the way they use color and shading and detailing on all the the landscapes and the world and the characters themselves. And yeah, it's just really like a visual feast. So that's the thing that really drew me into the show. But then yeah, the story is just, it's so good, and it looks like things are definitely going to be getting a lot darker in terms of, Vi is not having a good time. She's definitely going through her emo phase. That's for sure. Getting the black hair going. And doing some fighting. Yeah, and then on the other hand, you've got Jinx, who they're not, pretty much not calling her powder ever again. That's done and dusted now. And yeah, now she's sort of looks like she's going to be sort of a martyr, like a figure, like a Katniss Everdeen, if you will, for the people of the Undercity, to use and to rise up against the Topsiders. Yeah, that's going to be a fun conflict. So I'm really looking forward to that and the angst between the two sisters and how their story is going to come to an end. I'm scared. I'm scared, but I'm excited. Yeah, it looks really, really good. And then like these teasers of the arcane coming back, like the magic in the world, kind of rearing its head. And yeah, that's going to be fun to see how it all plays out. So I really need to rewatch season 1 so I can go in like up to speed and remembering everything. So but I can't wait. I'm really excited for this. I'm so sad it's ending after 2 seasons, but hey, if that's the story they wanted to tell, I'm not going to be mad about it if that's it. If that's the end. So just as long as they end it better than some other shows there's one. Oh yeah, better as long as I end it better than Umbrella Academy. There it is.
From this year.
From this year, literally, yes. Weeks ago. Yeah, that'll
And
be
I'm
nice.
still sore.
Yeah, aren't we all?
At least there was a good meme out of it. Daddy issues, mummy issues, also daddy issues, vindictive asshole issues, and you seem to get everything together. You're all right. There's a lot of that on TikTok.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Umbrella Academy is definitely good for some meme quality. We like to see that. Cool. Fulya. I can't remember either if you've seen the first season of this show. But
It's gaming.
Your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts on this trailer. What'd you think?
I have no clue what's going on. I haven't watched the first season, so
Great.
So essentially, season 2 that trailer just spoiled me for season 1 if I ever decided to watch it.
I honestly don't think it does too much because I've forgotten. Like I said, I've forgotten. I'm terrible. I'm terrible for some reason. I don't know why. I usually remember when a show's really, really good or a movie's really, really good. It kind of stays in my brain for a while. So I don't know why I've forgotten the ending of this. So it is fantastic. You might actually enjoy it. I think. Like it's yeah.
The thing is though, like I can see why, because of just the animation style does look really cool, for one thing. I'm not really familiar with League of Legends. Like
Neither am I.
Or anything like that.
Neither am
I feel like maybe I'd enjoy it. But considering the fact that it is sort of like a utopian kind of world that's happening, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I'm really that keen on it. Although the one thing that has me slightly wanting to watch it is that Kevin Alejandro's in this.
Yes. Yes, he's I like his character a lot.
And Haley Steinfeld, of course.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah.
We love her.
That's probably maybe the slight only reason why I'd want to check it out, just to see how those characters are portrayed. But other than that, I'm not really that sort of like fascinated by the world or anything like that. So that's probably the reason why I probably won't go out of my way to watch it. Although if I did, I could probably wait until the season ends, because it looks like it's also the final season. So
yes, it is. Yes,
they're literally ending it. Was it just the second season? So two seasons.
Yes, I did say all that before, but yes.
Yeah,
right.
2 seasons. Yeah. So a 2-season run. I suppose that's a short and sweet sort of a show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fonzie Towers only went for 2.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
don't have much else to say.
That's fine. That is fine. That was more than I expected. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Mike,
Yo.
what did you think of this trailer?
Really good. It's Arcane's one of the ones that has been on my list for years, and I just need to like knuckle down and watch it. And I've been meaning to watch it on TV and not on my phone. So I want to experience the absolutely magnitude that it is of the visual aspect of it, because it looks fantastic. And people have been saying that it's phenomenally, like, the way they do it. And I actually watched a YouTube a YouTube video not too long ago about someone who was talking about like hybrid animation, where they put CGI elements and they draw on it to make things look instead of trying to systematically draw a 3D shape that's moving in space, because like frame after frame would be tedious. So they put like a 3D element in it, and they just draw over it in every frame. Like Disney's been doing that for years, and now they're talking about it's sort of done in reverse now. Like everything's turning into CGI sort of stuff, but now there's 2D elements being put on CGI, which is like the a bit like the Spider-Verse sort of stuff, where they do have 3D elements, but they have hand-drawn stuff on there. And the guy Cam Wing is a guy that did it, and he's an animator, and he's talking about how Arcane actually did something a little bit different, where they do have CG elements, but the backgrounds are all hand painted, like physically done painted backgrounds, and how that they put like those matte paintings for the backgrounds, and these 3D elements are actually within the world. So I can't wait to watch that on the big screen and in 4K, and just and I don't know anything about League of Legends or anything like that either, so I'll be going into it like fresh. And maybe I'll do this like we talk about Umbrella Academy. Maybe I'll do that like Umbrella Academy, but instead of doing like a couple of episodes a week, I just want to do an episode a day. So it just stays fresh in my mind, like what I've been doing with Chaos and Terminator. So I might do that because I've been meaning to watch this, and it just looks right up my alley, and just looks it looks like a treat to the eyes. I don't want my eyes to be treated to it. So when is that treat going to be shoved into my eyeballs, Kendall?
Yes, well, we don't have an exact date just yet for Arcane Season 2. Netflix being very cagey around that. However, they have said it will be out sometime in November.
Yeah. And you say it's been a couple of years since, but animation takes a long time.
Oh, it does. I mean, yeah, it's worth the wait. Yeah. It's definitely going to be worth the wait. But yeah.
Who knows how that third Spider-Verse movie is going to be? Is it on
that's
hiatus?
Next year, isn't it?
Maybe.
I think.
They said a year, and that was a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a year now. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Boy.
And the creatives have been fired, so there you go.
Woo.
Good on you, Sony. Kicking goals with both feet.
Kicking goals again, as they are wont to do. All right, we got one more trailer to discuss. And I'm keen to hear what you guys have to say about this, because I knew what this movie was before I watched the trailer. I've been hearing about it for a while because, you know, me, I follow movie news and shit, festival circuits and all that. But yeah, so this is a movie called Night Bitch, which is just a very striking title. And I wasn't sure what kind of trailer it was going to be because I knew the movie was about Amy Adams turning into a dog, which is just a wild premise. Like I thought maybe it was going to be more of a psychological thriller horror, maybe, but this movie is definitely more of a, I don't know, I kind of like this version better because I feel like that approach is more the, I don't know, traditional body horror transformation sort of approach, whereas here you've got like this is a story about a mum, and you know, she's doing the most and is just struggling, and she's, you know, she's put her life on hold to be a mum, and you know, her husband doesn't seem to be he's probably doing the best he can as well, but at least in this trailer we don't really see that much of him around.
I so feel sane.
But yeah, so it's just kind of her struggling with, you know, trying to look after their child, and dealing with the fact, yeah, that she's, you know, not the person she used to be anymore, and so yeah, and then weaved in within that is this transformation that starts happening where she starts to, you know, like her teeth are sharper, and she's going for runs at night and getting in the dirt and eating food directly off the plate with her mouth. Yeah, and then she's like, it says it in the trailer, I'm turning into a dog. So, and I kind of like it. I don't know. I'm here for it. This story. This is really intriguing, and Amy Adams is a great actress, and she deserves a million Oscars by now, but she doesn't have one yet. She's the new Leonardo DiCaprio. She'll get her Oscar one day. Whether it's for this movie, who knows? But yeah, I don't know. I'm really, really curious about this. It looks really good. It looks really interesting. I've been hearing good things about it. So yeah, I hope it lives up to the expectations that I have for it. Yeah, a kind of wholesome but weird movie. I guess. Fulya, tell me everything.
Tell me the juicy morsel that you have of your opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, how did this go for you, and why will you not be watching it?
Preempting.
Yes.
You are correct. I won't be watching.
Well, you don't like women?
To Dude, come on.
Dude. I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was watching this trailer, I was just sitting there thinking, what the heck is going on with this lady? I have no clue. Like, I get that she's having a rough time being a stay-at-home mum, but then she starts arcing up and
Barking
like
up.
something within her just changes. And yeah, she's like turning into like a literal animal. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that interested in the story. I just it's I don't know. It's not what I would go out of my way to watch, to be honest.
Yeah. So you're barking up the wrong tree.
Sure.
Up the wrong tree. Cool. No, that's about all I expected.
It's a weird one for me. I don't know that I
Yeah.
can really stomach it, to be honest.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, eat some
That
grass
is-
then.
No.
Because that's what dogs do when they have an upset stomach. They eat grass so they can vomit.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that.
I don't want to do that.
I don't.
All right. Thank you, Fulya. I appreciate your effort. Very, 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 very much. Thank you.
It's all right.
Mike, what did you think of this? How did this one go for you?
This looked like a dog's breakfast.
It's all the dog puns. That's
Yeah,
all it's gonna be.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
a lot. I'm like
Yeah.
a dog with a bone. Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same vein. It's like I don't particularly am, vibing what they're throwing out. I mean, Amy Adams is an excellent author when it comes with her acting, but I don't know, a bit of a misfire for this one. Yeah, a comedy, dare I say, an R-rated comedy when dealing with a mum who's having struggles, and yeah, you can joke about it and all that, but it's, I don't know, it's maybe a bit poor taste. I don't know. Maybe it needs another trailer, just like probably like the Minecraft thing. I probably need another trailer just to figure out what's going on, what's they actually doing. And in this one, yeah, I can excuse me, I can understand the sort of struggle that if you are a stay-at-home parent and you have an unruly child who, I don't know, maybe there's an issue there that they can't get them in, they can't have help or anything like that, and the father's just oblivious. It's like, yay, and another idiot dad. Yeah, like we need another one. Maybe that's just it. I just don't particularly like no real good communications between couples is something that I strive not to do. So just I sort of balk at that sort of life. It's like, I don't know, and I can't really poo-poo people's enjoyment for comedy, so yeah, probably just need another trailer. But at the moment, probably not. I probably won't be seeing this. Yeah, that's just me. But when is this movie coming out?
Well, thanks for asking. There's no Australian release date just yet. Night Pitch will be out in cinemas in America on the 6th of December. However, I just remembered, if you're in Adelaide, it's actually going to be playing at the Adelaide Film Festival next month, I'm pretty sure I read. So go check it out. If
Adelaide, celebrate.
If you're keen like me. All right then, that's the trailer park. We are done.
Yeah.
So we are rolling out of here because it's
Rolling.
time
Oh,
for the moment,
sweet.
the segment,
Oh,
the section,
the
the
placeholder.
the apartment,
The rent.
the door, the
The floor. The multi-story.
Popcorn culture.
Yes, it's popcorn culture time. Yes, we are here to discuss our thoughts on the latest episode of Only Murders in the Building, Season 4, Episode 2, Gates of Heaven.
And with a quick update, there's going to be a season 5.
When did that?
They announced it on socials.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Did we already? Or was this only just announced?
They only announced it when the second episode came out.
Yep.
I do remember.
Okay, well that could have been nerdy news, guys. Wait.
Well, we're
talking about it here.
Yeah, we're talking about it. And we got like 10 minutes left until we can go. So let's talk about 10 minutes.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
He got nothing to do with it.
No, he doesn't, because he's not real. So
Well,
only matters.
Stuff that he did, maybe, but
he might have been a real person. It's fine. We're not here to discuss that. We are here to discuss The Gates of Heaven, episode 2 of season 4. My overall thoughts. This was a quick one. This was like bam, 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 like fast paced, flowed well. The mystery is developing. The plot is thickening. It's nice and creamy and thick.
Yeah.
So, I
thought it was all powdery. Just like a certain person.
Oh god, all right. I have a whole thing about Zaz that I need to unpack, and I'm probably gonna cry. Anyway, it's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, and then getting to see a whole side of the Arconia that's I don't know if it's technically the Arconia according to things being cut off after apparently there was a brothel. We're learning a lot of new things this season. So we have the west building and the east building, and the main part of the Arconia is the east building, where our intrepid podcasters live. And the shot that was fired comes from the west, so that's interesting development in the story. Yeah, lots of new characters. We don't get to go back to LA this episode, so that's fine. That's whatever. This is where the mystery is, because it's only murders in the building, and they've got a new podcast to make. So, yeah, Charles, I want to hug Charles.
Yeah,
I just want to hug Charles. That's all I really want to do. That's the main thing I want to achieve with my time. But yeah, it was a good, fun episode, and I like where things are. I love how the little clues get kind of unraveled in surprising ways along the way. Like everything done by the writers is sort of quite intentional. Like you think something's not going to mean something, and they make you think that something else might mean something, but then this misdirect will happen, and it's like, oh no, actually it's the thing you thought that was insignificant actually means a thing, or this other thing turns out to be something much more important than you thought. So I love that kind of storytelling in this show. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, it was good. Fulya, what did you think?
I agree. It was actually a really well-paced episode. I was just there was no fat. It was lean. It was a lean episode. It's like it just went it just sort of went through really well. But there was still a lot of information being, given to us. And yeah, my heart for Charles, man. It was just, he just couldn't, like, and the fact that he's now started to see Azaz subconsciously, even though no one else can see. So yeah, that kind of was like, oh no, okay, we're getting to that point where he's still in disbelief, I think, about his friends passing. So yeah. But we get some really interesting revelations. We also get a couple of characters return. My goodness, was I not expecting that? With one of them, at least.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo.
Yep.
Kind of
Pretty
freaked
much.
me out a little bit.
I was sort of expecting them to come, considering that was one of my ideas of who would have it out for
I mean,
for
true.
Charlie.
But they did keep, I suppose they would name drop a nurse, and then they were like, no, she's in prison.
Really?
And we're referencing Jan here, by the way.
Yes,
I
of
didn't
course.
Say
Yes,
anything before.
Jan!
Trying to be ominous about it, but yeah.
Jan the man.
Yeah, so that was an interesting surprise to see her pop up out of the wardrobe, closet, whatever it was, the cupboard. And the fact that she learned parkour from Zaz, like, that's insane.
Well, need a hobby.
So funny. Yeah. But yeah, just overall this episode, like, it felt like it was longer than the last one, but it just didn't feel like it, like, in terms of when you're watching it. Like, I don't know how to put it. It was like, I could feel that it was a little bit longer, but it still just went through quick. Because a lot happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are advancing rapidly. Cool. Thank you, Fulya. Let's go to Mike for his thoughts on the episode. What did you think?
I liked this episode, and yeah, I can agree that it actually travelled quite nicely. A lot in it, and it definitely went from do every single dot point within it. And I suppose from the previous episode, there wasn't a travel montage, so they didn't really have to weigh into that. And yeah, it introduced more elements of this mystery, as well as new characters, and I just adore the voice of Richard Kind. He's got that voice that just
So good.
tickles my eardrum. So good. Even when he does like Pixar stuff as well. And just hit.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about it just makes me giggle. Yeah, and the fallout from finding Zaz yeah, I can understand the sort of mental break that Charlie's going through, and it sort of is built upon from last season, where he had to be in a certain place when he's trying to sing, and it's like, oh, is this character all right? Is it building towards something that he's going to be in a padded cell by the end of this show? But yeah, and season 5's coming out. I was like, oh, there's going to be more. Okay, good. Want to see more Steve Martin. Don't retire yet, sir. I'm not ready for you to retire again from stuff. And yeah, and all the others as well. They didn't really have much to build upon for like character wise with the other characters, but they were still on the hunt and going on to the east side. The renters. Oh, why would you rent?
Yeah, wow. Okay, Boomer.
I'm sorry, I have a mortgage. Well, the way the economy's going, I'm probably going to have to sell up and live in a tent. Anyway.
Yep, that's the way of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, let's dive into the episode proper then. I wasn't expecting so much Zaz in this episode, and to be just kind of hit in the feels repeatedly by her demise. She went from being this hilarious
Joke, really.
So yeah, just a pure comedic relief, a gag character, and now she's gone, and it's like see, we're making you care about the gag, like this, fleshing her out and giving her depth, and I was on the verge of tears multiple times. Starting with the beginning of this episode when we get like this behind the scenes sort of doco thing, like it's kind of, this footage is kind of sprinkled throughout the episode a little bit too, but Zaz just talking about how she got into stunt work and why she does what she does and all this stuff, and then and then we get this awful harsh transition to Charles on the couch with Zaz's ashes all over his hands and forearms, and he's just traumatized, and they're just trying to figure out what the hell to do, and he ends up putting her in a jar, like using water to put her in a jar, and he's like, oh, maybe the water will dry out and then
evaporate and all. Yeah,
which was sort of a good idea if you could like execute it like properly, not the way he did it.
Yeah, I kind of felt for him because he's like, I don't want to wash away Zaz, but I don't want to just have this all over my hands because I can't do anything. So his idea to try and keep the ashes in a way in water was interesting, but I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, you poor man.
Yeah, just literally the poor guy was struggling the entire time, and it was just terrible. The two parts of this I really enjoyed, like, because obviously we are watching a comedy show. I mean, yes, there's some dramatic elements, but it's a comedy overall, and of my favorite there were a lot of really fun jokes in this episode, just like last week, just like every time you watch this show. But my two favorite quotes here at the beginning, Oliver talking about him having permanent Zaz hands, and then instantly regretting it. He's just like, I'd like to take that one back. Yeah. Oh, that was so good. That was hysterical.
I liked that joke, and I was just like, and then when Charles wasn't saying anything, I'm like, okay, bad timing.
You could tell there was a big debate in the writers' room for that one. It's so good, we need to use it, but we also have to say, that is a bridge too far. That's
that's cutting it close.
Being a bit bad taste.
Yeah, a bit bad taste for sure. And then the other one for me was when Ghost in quotations, appears to Charles and he's freaking out. And for literally half a second, I was like, oh, wait, Zaz is still alive. And then I'm glad that they made her say, no, actually, I am dead, but you are seeing me or whatever. And and then she was like, get your hands off my boobs.
And walks away.
Yeah, that was great. I love Jane Lynch. This is the most Jane Lynch we've had, and it's just, she's such a delight every time she's on screen. So
she's got very good comedic timing.
She does. She's exceptional. Exceptional. Oh my god.
Weird pull, but probably my favorite Jane Lynch is probably Ricky Bobby's mum in Talladega Nights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really enjoyed her in that one.
I like her in oh, I like her in a lot of stuff, but I liked her in Role Models. She plays like this, like just terrible human who's just sexually harassing everybody, and but she's just I don't know, she's just fantastic. I don't know, I just really like her.
Yeah, sexual
Well,
assault is funny.
Yeah, it is.
While
apparently,
we're
yeah.
sharing our favorite Jane Lynch shows, she was also in the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh,
And yeah, and she was this pompous bitch of a comedian who was so successful that she would like order people around. She wouldn't have it any other way. But then when she saw that, Mrs. Maisel was being a bit more successful and she's getting more people coming to her, she got a bit jealous about it. And yeah, and it's just this whole thing. And she was so like, she was good, but she played the rich bitch really well in this show. But it was really, yeah, I really like Jane Lynch. I haven't really seen her in too much. Like I have like heard her voice in like some cartoons and stuff like that, but other than that,
It's
really
so
watched her
funny
in
because
much.
the first thing I probably ever saw her in, she's in The Fugitive. Mike, I don't know if you've seen The Fugitive.
Ages ago.
Yeah, she has a very small role, and it was one of her early film roles in the early 90s, and she is like, it's a fully, it's a crime drama thriller film, and she plays a friend of Harrison Ford's doctor character who's trying to clear his name because I didn't kill my wife. And yeah, and she like helps him at one point. And yeah, and she's like so nice and like not funny. Like she's just a normal person, and so much so that I didn't realize like later on until I went back and watched it, and I think maybe it was like on the, I don't know, because I think the first time I saw Jane Lynch in anything comedic was 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
Yeah, and then going back and then realizing that's the same actress was like, oh fuck, okay. Here we are. It's very funny. Anyway, we're going on a complete tangent. It's going to call Gold Leader here.
Right. And before people get
yes.
pissed off, she's in Glee.
Yeah, she's in Glee. We'll mention Glee.
We'll mention Glee because it's a powerhouse. Oh.
Yes, but anyway, yeah, basically this is when the trio decide to split up, and Oliver and Mabel are gonna go investigate the West Side, and figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, Charles is gonna stay on hold to 911 for 10 hours, and also wait for the I've already forgotten the name of the chemical that they ordered.
The linalol.
Yeah, it starts with an L and ends with an L, and I was going to write it down. Nah.
Something like that, I don't know.
La. The chemical la.
Yes, all the feels with Charles at the beginning. Fulya, how did you like the way the episode kicked off?
It was it was kind of like sitting there watching a man just going through the shock of it all. But at the same time you have, Mabel and Oliver trying to get him through it so that they can continue on and investigate and all that sort of stuff. But the thing that I didn't like about what they did for Charles wasn't really to comfort him. It was more of a they ended up patronizing him a little bit. Just be like, and because of the fact that, he, after having Zaz's ashes all over his hands and trying to, sort of take it off, and however, because they wanted to go off and do their thing, they're like, the best thing that you can do is stay here. Stay safe, because they pretty much told him that if if Zaz was killed in his apartment, the fact that Zaz looks like Charles means that whoever shot into the apartment was technically targeting Charles. But Charles didn't want to believe that. He was like, "No, that's not right."
I'm a good guy, I am.
Yeah, it's like everybody loves me. Why would anyone want to kill me? Wow. And yeah, so Mabel and Oliver were like, I can see that they were concerned for his well-being and his mental state. They were like, you need to stay here and just set up a new murder board for us, you know, while you're on hold with the police, so that they can go off and do their thing, because they knew that they could get through it a bit quicker, and because they're of sound mind, whilst Charles was not. But it was also really interesting with having Zaz's spirit appear. Charles was the only one to see her, and I was like, I feel like for a split second, I was on the side of Charles, thinking, "Holy crap, she's actually alive." But then I was like, "Wait, hang on, no, that probably isn't right." So yeah, but it was also interesting to see that Charles, just like the way that Charles was trying to sort of digest it all, I suppose, trying to sort of work through it in his sort of way. So yeah, it was a really sort of, it was a good start. It was a good start to the episode.
Yeah, nice. Mike, can you add any thoughts to how this kicked off?
No, I suppose the same. It was a really good, solid start, and especially after the previous episode of being the most horrific thing that you could probably imagine, of having your best friend on your on your fingers, and I got Zaz under my fingernails. It would break anyone, and I don't know, cardinal rule. It's not dead until you see a body, and I don't know. I think the having the metallic joints as well being in there is probably to say, yeah, this is Zaz. So having a manifestation of Zaz, like and in Charlie's mind, good. It's probably a good way, because usually we've seen basically flashbacks, and that's how we get to see like the victim interacting as well. So this is a good change to just having disembodied like voice as well, which is good. And Oliver and Mabel teaming up. Oliver and company going to a different part of the building, so there's still more building for murders. Yeah,
Still more for murders. Yes, my bet is on season 5. There's a murderer in the West building.
I think this building is probably going to be condemned by the end. Big explosion. It's like there's only death in the there's only murders in the building, and everyone dies from an explosion.
Yeah, no more murders.
No more
in
murders.
The building, because everyone's dead.
Everyone's dead, and they don't want to come back. Surely that would be a thing now. That we can't go there. There's too many murders, and it's only these 3 that are surviving.
Every single time.
Death awaits us.
Death awaits. Okay, so let's talk about the West building. So we get Oliver and Mabel going over to visit the Westies. And obviously there's already this established prejudice, I guess, between the West from the East side, because when they get to the West and they meet with, you know, all their neighbors across the way, they find out pretty quickly that they at least on surface level, we might find more out about them as we go on, but they seem pretty nice and harmless, and well, unless you're a stink-eyed Joe who turns out to be pink-eyed Joe. Man, but yeah, I really liked this kind of expansion, this kind of way of them broadening the world of I think that was really cool. And yeah, like you said, Mike, Richard Kind is just fantastic every time he does anything, and yeah, his voice is so iconic, and I really enjoyed his little rant about, like, sorry about the eye patch, I was doing this and this and that, and then like he's getting close to Oliver and Mabel and talking about how contagious he is, and
Touches Oliver's shoulder.
Like, I love that entire exchange and how he very easily fell for the pretense of like, oh, you know, the movie's going to be filming here, so we want to come in and see what we can see from here, and if it's worth filming from this side or whatever. And but yeah, my favorite part of the whole thing, as far as Pink-Eyed Joe goes, whose name's actually Vince. As far as Vince goes, was at the end when he was like holding out his hand for I think it was for a high five, and neither of them wanted to do it, and like Mabel, it was left to Mabel, and I was just like, oh, Mabel, don't.
She's so hesitant.
Don't do it. She takes one for the team and has to high five him, and it was just, yeah.
Barely a high five. It was literally just like a little tap of the.
It was like, yeah. It went, yeah. It was a safe high five.
Yeah, something tells me Mabel's gonna have pink eye next season. Next episode.
How would be
as long as she had some hand sanitizer on her, I think she'd be okay.
She'll be okay. Fulya, what did you think of Vince, aka Stink Eye, aka Pink Eye?
I get it
now. You know what
Mrs. M, Mrs. I, Mrs. SSI, Mrs.
Mrs. M. Yeah, go on, Fulya.
Ah, man, Richard Kind is so hilarious, and it's like he has this iconic voice that the moment you hear it, you know it's him. and it's so good, and the way that he speaks as well, like he always has this thing about wanting to go on forever, for as long as he can. And he speaks so quickly too. It's really good. Vince Fish, what a character. He seems to be like just a regular old guy, just a little bit quirky, has a bit of a thing going on, you know, with his eye, you know, health issues. But yeah, but he's also very starstruck when he meets Oliver and Mabel at the door, because he recognized them immediately. But the other thing that I love about Richard Kind is that the moment you see the man smile, it's that iconic smile that you get from him.
He's so wholesome. He's so
really
like just
is.
And simple and joyful. Like, it's just great.
It's so good. And I feel like there's a lot of things that he's been in, but the one show that I really enjoyed the most, with Richard Kind in it, was the one where he was with Michael. Oh shoot! What was the name of the show?
Are we talking about Spin City?
Yes. Yeah. Spin City. That's the one.
City.
Really good show. I think I binged through that show either earlier this year or maybe last year. His character in that show is so funny. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah, it's just his character in this episode was like just quirky and funny and one of those type of people where I would probably keep my distance. It's like, you're a nice guy and everything, but don't touch me. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, let's not touch Vince. Vince can keep his high fives. Mike, what did you think of him? I know you've already talked about Richard a little bit, but
Yeah.
what do you think of his introduction scene?
Yeah, just expanding the lore with Only Murders. I like the aspect that it sort of figured it out where if you're living on a street, you know all your neighbors on both sides of you, but no one knows the people on the other side of the road. It sort of has that sort of relationship of, I don't know anyone on the other side of the road. We know everyone here. We are the normal people right here. But those people who are facing us and looking into us, what's their game?
Or so we think, because they also, like, even Vince mentioned how weird Charles was for staring at him.
Yeah. It favors on both sides, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think because of the ending, and not go into the ending, I think it's more of a red herring of what happens. I think the killer took the shot over there, but I don't think anyone who lives there is involved. I think it's probably an outside thing, and that's why I'm thinking it's more to do with the LA side. I think it's something to do with someone wanting Charles dead from old Hollywood, from the Brazo days, maybe. Who knows? So, yeah, I really enjoy these characters from the West Side. West Side.
Yes. Well, yeah. Because we have the other family that we meet, which they're referred to as the Source family, but I doubt that's actually what their net family name is. But yeah, their character names are Inez, who's the mom. We've got Alfonso, who's the dad, and then Anna is the daughter. Yeah, and they're playing this game. What's it called? Something about hell. I've forgotten it already.
Welcome to Hell.
Oh Hell is the name
Oh Hell.
of the game that they're playing. Or they're trying to, they're like, Vince is like, you got to come around and we're gonna play Oh Hell and blah blah blah. And they, as soon as they walk in, they're all very excited. And I loved how Inez was just, like blatantly horny for Charles, and just immediately like, he's my whole pass, and then Alfonso is just like, I don't think that counts when there's an actual possibility, of meeting the person. That was very funny. I like that a lot. Yeah, and then Anna spilling the beans about the Dudanoff thing. The mysterious apartment that has all its blinds shuttered. But we'll get to that later. But yeah, and then there's this sort of weird, you used the term red herring before, Mike, but this weird red herring moment where they're like, talking about a knife and sharpening the knife, and you've got to go in as soon as you achieved
Get a hit.
something in the game, you get to go do something with a knife, and then they're all very concerned as
Texas
to what it
Chainsaw
is.
Massacre.
Yeah.
Eat the meat.
Yeah,
For whatever reason, I
weird.
thought they were insinuating drugs for whatever reason. That was kind of where my brain went when they were saying that. But then when they brought out a knife, I was like, wait, hold on, that doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I didn't think it was drugs. I was like, oh, okay, something weird's going on with the knife. I don't know what. I don't know what's happening, but they're trying to make it sound nefarious, and I'm enjoying the look on Oliver and Mabel's faces as they're freaking the fuck out, And then that moment where like Oliver's like, "Oh, I've got to. No, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna take the knife." And they're like, "No, go."
You just
That was funny, and it's just a ham hanging.
and the way that Oliver yells from the bathroom. It's like, Mabel, it's just a ham. That cracked me up.
It was great. It was great. Yeah. Yeah. Fulia, keep going. Do you have any other thoughts on the
On the ham.
on the sauce, on the
Yeah,
ham and the
look,
sauce family?
That family had me a little on edge because I was like, they're a little sus. Because the way that they're talking about stuff, and like even the fact that because they know Vince and their neighbors, and you know, and the fact that Vince introduced Mabel and Oliver to them, you know, they're very close neighbors, and the fact that they know they don't know what's going on, but they know what's going on with the empty apartment, and it's just the way that they're talking. It's just you could tell that there's something going on, and they're hiding something, and that whole situation with the game, and you know, Oliver and Mabel kind of had their guard down a little bit because of that, and at the moment where it was Oliver's turn to go and slice the ham, just the look on his face where he's just so like petrified about, oh no, I'm going back there. Alfonso's got the knife. He's gonna kill me. And then they open the door, walk in, and there is his first response, is that a human leg? So Alfonso says, no, it's the leg of ham. Imported from Portugal.
That we know of.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got a hoof on the end, so it makes sense.
I don't know. I'm not a butcher.
I was gonna say it looks very like a leg of ham from a leg from a pig, but anyway.
Well, leg and rump.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry.
And the fact that it is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know what a rump is. I'm not a butcher. Leg and
yeah.
bum.
Yeah, illegally imported ham.
Yeah. Across state line. Well,
Portugal.
yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Is it Portugal or Portland?
Probably
They
Portland.
said Portland would make more sense.
I don't know. I'm going by Australian rules. It's like you can't take food overseas.
Overseas, yeah. That's what I mean. It's illegal.
Illegal.
So they're being hush hush about it. But yeah, it was very.
No.
Hmm?
Is Oliver and Mabel gonna get worms?
Oh no.
No.
Untreated meat hanging up in the bathroom. I'm sure that's sanitary.
Jesus Christ.
No,
All right,
no
Mike,
wonder Vince is getting pink eye.
Yeah, too much. Oh hell. Yeah. Any thoughts from you, Mike, on the Sauce family? Weird behavior.
Oh well, quirky. I mean,
Quirky.
Yeah, I think they're just quirky. I don't think there's much nefarious things going on. But I could be wrong. I mean, it's only 2 episodes in. I think it goes up to 10, doesn't it? Or 8. Yeah, it's very early. So who knows? Who knows? It's just an array of sources. Just to show off. Hi, Charles.
Always wearing a push-up bra.
Oh dear. Don't do it, Mrs. Horse. You might hate him. Because every woman that Charlie's been with hates him. Maybe she's the killer. Queen.
All right.
Mistaken identity. Or maybe deliberate. It's like another woman in Charles's room. Bang.
Oh, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Nah,
I mean, it could happen.
It was dark, so it could. That's why I thought. Oh, they thought it was Charles
Yeah.
because they look alike. So weirdly.
Yep. Weirdly.
Stuntable.
Yes.
I take a bullet for you, literally.
Literally. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that little remark about how like Zaz is like, you know, still even in death, she's performing her duty to him in a weird way.
But that's through Charles's mind, so it could be bullshit.
Yeah, you know, but you know what I mean. Like the fact that that point gets brought up at all is just really kind of bittersweet and poignant and whatnot. Anyway, speaking of Charles, let's go back and check in with our PTSD guy.
Murder victim.
Because as we already mentioned earlier, Jan shows up. Jan escapes prison thanks to the helpful podcast where in season 2 when she learned from them that there was all the secret tunnels in the Arcadia. So that's fun. Arconia. I called it Arcadia. Arconia. I knew that was wrong. I'm still new, guys. Anyway, so yeah, that was wild of her to just show up randomly, especially after, you know, made the point of like, you know, can't be Jan, even though she would probably want to kill you still, or want to kill Zaz because Zaz wants to break up with her and all this stuff. But yeah, she breaks out of prison and the Arconia because she's like worried about Zaz, and Charles is the first person she thinks to go visit. And I was watching, like, because immediately I noticed that she had red stains on her. And I was like, okay, at first glance, I was like, it's blood. Second glance, it looked like chunky sauce. So I was just like, I don't know what's happening here. And then she says, oh no, it's prison guard brains. I was like, oh, well, glad to see some people don't get rehabilitated in jail. Yeah, no surprises. She's still fucking bonkers, everyone. But I'm just, I love that they keep bringing Jan back. I love that she's become a recurring character because she was one of my favorite parts of the first season. I loved her. I love Amy Ryan because, like, you know, she's fantastic in The Office. And yeah, and she's really good here. And her and Steve Martin had really good chemistry, and they still kind of do, I guess, in the scenes that they're in together, even though the dynamic's completely different now. But yeah, I like that she keeps coming back, and that we get a few scenes with her in this episode, and you know, she basically is the one that says that, you know, Charles is still alive because of Zaz, and the whole thing I just mentioned with the, you know, her doing her job and all that stuff. But my favorite moment, I think, out of all the Jan and Charles stuff was when Charles is just standing next to the bench, and he sees the knife rack, and he grabs the whole thing and puts it in the dishwasher, and is like, I've been meaning to wash this. That was just so funny. I loved that so much because like he puts it in there and turns it on as well. Like,
yeah. Let's just get these sharp objects away from the psycho killer that's in my
that still wants to kill me. Yes.
Still, first of all, you don't put wood in a dishwasher, and you don't put sharpened knives in a dishwasher because it dulls them.
Yeah,
but I'm not a butcher, so I don't know.
It was the first place you could put it.
Hide it from the psycho lady.
Hide it from the psycho lady. Fulya, what did you think about Jan's return here in season 4?
Yeah, the fact that she just drops in literally from the with her parkour skills. Yeah, that was interesting because it was the first thing I will mention is that it was really funny and really cool that when the sounds of the thuds coming from the cupboard started, and even before then, when Charles was speaking to Zaz, and Charles was like, "They're leaving me here by myself. I'm not. They think I'm gonna be afraid. I'm not afraid." And then all of a sudden, you hear the thumps, and he just jumps, and they're both sort of looking for where the sound's coming from, and Zaz like, "Yep, sounds like it's coming from the closet." She just peeks around the corner, and then that whole moment where Charles is like getting ready to open this door and have someone jump out at him and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. it was really interesting. But yeah, the return of Jan, I was even on edge. I was like, what is this lady doing here? How dare she get out prison? How did she break out? Quickly, Charles, call the police. Oh wait, hold on.
He's on hold. Already.
Yeah. And the moment that the voiceover, the little voiceover thing says, "Thank you for calling emergency services. You are now 50th in the queue."
Yeah, I
When
love the constant updates.
Yeah, and especially in front of Jan when that came up, and she's like, "You called the police?" Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that was funny. And just the whole thing where they're just sort of running around the kitchen island. And then Jazz like, "Stop running." Just yeah, like I love those two when they're sort of together and their dynamics, and especially now after the breakup. It was just seeing Charles just react so like and fearfully as well for his life. It was it's a nice sort of change of pace, I suppose, to see a character from a previous season come back sometimes, especially if it is a psycho killer.
Psycho killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Mike, what do you think of psycho killers?
Far better. Run away around the island. Yeah, it was quite a surprise seeing her here so early. I don't think this is probably going to be the last time we see her. I think she'll turn up later on in the track, but good to say, okay, this is one person struck off the idea. It's going to be someone, and yeah, Jan's just fun in a psychotic way, and just brain matter all over her shit. It's gross. It's fun. It's dark. It's dark comedy. I love it when it's needed. Yeah, I can't really add too much to it. Poor old Charlie.
Poor old Charlie. Yeah. Well, we get a brief reunion with the trio when Mabel and Oliver come back, and just after Jan, they come back, and then Jan is like, "Oh shit, I better go," sort of thing. But yeah, I kind of wait, no, that's come after that. They don't believe that Jan was actually there, because obviously there was the pretense of Charles seeing Zaz and talking actively to someone that's not actually there, and they're just like, "Oh, okay, now he's seeing Jan. Okay, this is not great."
This is escalated.
Yes, but they check in on him, and they're basically convinced that Charles was the target. And yeah, and then after the mention of the Dudenoff apartment, and that being on the in the notes that Zaz had on her desk, there Oliver and Mabel go back. to the west side and try to figure out, what the go is. And it's this really rundown and dilapidated apartment, and it's just really really weird. And then there's a pig in there. There's a little piglet in the bathroom for some reason, and obviously that's got to have some connection to the Source family and to Vince, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what the hell happens with that pig. I just really was really glad. I was like Mabel. I'm like, it. Let it go. It's free. It got out okay. Oh, that was so funny. But yeah, and then the one other little tidbit was that Oliver found a little bit of tinsel in this mystery apartment, and obviously we haven't met the Christmas man yet, whose name, according to the credits, is Rudy Thurber, and he's played by Kumail Nanjiani from Eternals and a bunch of amazing comedy things because he's very funny. So I'm looking forward to hopefully meeting him next week. That's gonna be cool. But yeah,
iron pumping Christmas guy.
yeah, but they're basically confirming that this is the apartment where Zaz was shot from.
Okay.
So because they made the point of like, oh, the paint chip, because like all the paint was used to seal off all the windows in the west side building, and here we are with paint chips and the windows open. So Fulya, any thoughts? What do you think? What do you make of this dude enough apartment business?
Yeah, it was interesting. Just sort of like a really old rundown kind of an apartment. It looks like it's been lived in, but not really. But it doesn't really have any of like the homey touches. It's literally just there for like, not even to sleep in. It's almost like having like a place to hide, kind of like a storage kind of a thing. The piglet thing confirmed the fact that, for me at least, that the Source family were using it to raise pigs in there to slaughter and then make their ham with.
But surely you need 2 pigs to do that.
Or maybe they're just buying them one at a time. Who knows?
Oh, raising it on what?
Yeah, exactly.
Other pig.
Yeah, so there's that. But it also sort of kind of reminds me that Vince and the Source family were all very standoffish about when asked about that apartment. They were just like, oh, we don't know what's going on in there. We don't bother and all that sort of stuff. Like they just wanted them to not ask any more questions about it. So obviously that raises lots of suspicions and questions. And yeah, it was interesting to see, the fact that the window was broken open. And so yeah, definitely most likely the spot where Zaz was killed from. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say about that apartment specifically, but yeah, the fact that the code that got them in was a different clue was also interesting.
Yes, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh, shall we just skip to the ending?
Well, I'm thinking because it's an empty room with a pig.
Empty room with a pig. Cool. All right, let's do the ending of the episode. So this was great. Getting to see the wonderful again. Detective Donna is back. I love her so much. She's probably my favorite character, just because she's consistently done with them. And like the look on her
since season 1.
Yeah,
season 1,
like, not you,
episode
mofos
1
again.
Yeah, like the look on her face. I love this. Like I loved how this came together with like she's there because they know Jan escaped. She doesn't know Jan was actually here, but she's like coming here because she would come here. Like, and then obviously Charles hasn't reported her. but I just loved the whole like that's finally when he gets through to 911,
Of
and then they're
course
like,
it is.
and then they're like, "What's your emergency?"
Comedy is hinged on timing, and timing was splendid.
The timing could not have been better. It was just,
Sublime.
mwah, it was perfect timing. But I loved it. I loved it so much. Just the look
911,
on her
what's
face.
this?
Yeah, like it's like I'd like to report a
What a
murder. And then I can't remember what she says, but it's something along the lines of "You've got to be fucking kidding me" or something. That
Yeah.
vibe. Oh, cacking myself. So funny.
It
Yeah, I love
happened
that.
again.
It happened again. Yeah, this is when they get luminol.
Luminol, there you go.
Luminol. And they've got the luminol now, so they can see where Zaz bled out on the floor, and then they get the sign of her writing "tap in," which was what she used to say when she'd sub in for Charles when he would freeze frame on the Brazos set.
Yeah.
And then we get as you just mentioned, Fulia, the little reveal when they're staring out the window, and Oliver goes over to the board and realizes that the number for the lockbox for the apartment is actually "oh hell" upside down. Dun dun dun. Yeah, it was a great ending. Like just to have all this stuff. Like, oh my god, we've learned so much this episode, and now we're like, oh, there actually is something to this weird game and these quirky people
Yes.
across the other side of the Arconia. Fulia, what did you think about the way the episode came to an end?
It was beautiful. Just comedic timing was great. You know, the detective coming in with a SWAT team being, trying to find, search for Jan. Considering that she knew that this would be the first place that she would probably come to. But it's like she doesn't know that she was there until Charles essentially says that she was, and then she's like, she was here and you didn't report it, and then boom, 911, what's your emergency? Wow. It was, yeah, that whole sort of scene that sort of came together, it was done very well. Hats off to the writers of this particular scene. It was done really, really well. But also the look on poor Charles' face. He's just like, I don't know what to do in this situation, He just felt a bit lost and useless, I suppose. And yeah, the whole, the message, the thing that Oliver comes to when he figures out that it's not and just a combination number for a lock, but the fact that it's also a clue to the fact that it's maybe they used that, so it's definitely going back to the people over on the west side of the Arconia. And it's just like, yeah, I knew there was something sus about them, very much so. But I feel like we're not going to get the full story until we meet Rudy. So once we meet Rudy, then we're going to sort of maybe get an idea of what's happening. Because I feel like we might get some flashbacks with them on their side from previous episodes. If you sort of sort of see what I mean.
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, definitely.
It's like, what's going over there?
Yeah.
And they see names to faces. The second murder. And it's like, what's going on in Mabel's apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Sort of stuff. I feel like we probably won't see too much, but we'll just get like small snippets of flashbacks from things that have happened over from the west side point of view. Yeah. I feel like.
Was there like a power outage one time?
I think there was, yeah.
Yeah, so something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to sort of see in the next few episodes what type of like flashbacks we might get from the west side point of view. So that's gonna be fun, I think. But yeah, there's still a lot more questions than we do have answers to.
Yeah. It's only the second episode.
Exactly. It's only the second episode, so we've still got quite a few more to go, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this leads.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. Mike, your final thoughts?
Still good. Looking forward to it. I think the person who I think the oh hell is because the killer probably played a game with them because they're hospitable. So
Hospitable.
hospitable, and they shed some meat. I know. For some reason, I know how to get in their good graces. I got a pig. I'm going to offer them a pig when it's fully grown. I'm going to feed it McDonald's.
I'm going to supersize this pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have one leg and not
anything else.
It's like, there you go. There's a pig. It's got 4 legs. Double the fun. Yeah, a lot to go on, but not enough to go on. But still, and there's more stuff to do. All good.
All good.
Yeah. So, who's the killer?
Too early to tell.
Yeah.
Richard Kind.
I agree.
Richard Kind. Richard the kindest, yes. Gosh. Yeah, I'm so curious. Yeah, we've still got a lot to learn, I think. So
Yeah,
it's
Or
exciting.
maybe that's how he got his pink eye, or maybe there's actually something else going on under that patch.
He's shot and he's like,
And bruised his eye, maybe.
Dun dun
Yeah.
dun.
Who knows?
or he's
Who
like
knows?
or he's like kill shot and his eye is robotic and
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
yeah, I got Terminator on the brain.
Yeah, Richard
Kind
not
is
so
the
kind.
Terminator.
Richard.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Come with
okay.
me if you want to live.
Perfect. I love it. I love that so much.
Have you
All
seen
right.
this boy?
Oh my goodness. Oh, great. Okay, let's wrap it up, shall we? That's it. That's done.
Yes.
Alrighty, that's Popcorn Culture. Our thoughts on Only Murders in the Building, Season 2, Episode 4, The Gates of Heaven, or just Gates of Heaven. I keep adding a "the" for some reason.
Gay.
Yeah, that was fun.
Hmm.
That was fun. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Good show. It's a good season so far. I'm looking forward to where it's going. I'm sure we all are.
Yes,
Very
we are.
much. Yes, we are. All right, that's the show. We're done. No more show to be shown. Which means we're getting on out of here.
Yes.
Friends, we're saying goodnight. A 1, a 2, a 3.
And
that
was a
was a
podcast called
Fred.
Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching this right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of future content like this one. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to give us a follow. Twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Yeah. I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been the Michael Lister that's dancing.
Dancing, and you just
experienced a
podcast
podcast
called
Fred.
Fred.
We'll get it right one day. Transition.
Just gotta use more Zaz hands. Remember to eat ham.
Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and yesterday, Cheaper by the Dozen 2 was on, and Stephen and Levy was in the same thing. So that means in Only Murders in the Building, Steve Martin is in this universe.
Oh god, my brain just collapsed.
I suppose remember to look after yourself and your mental health.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, laters, gators.
And
And
scene.
No.